Ah, it's another flashback.
A little more Magnum PI.
What the fuck is her name? Oh my god, who plays Robin Sparkles? Fuck. Also Maria Hill.
Get that off your face, you
Fuck, that bothers. That's gonna bother me.
Mom.
Grandma Bluth. That's different. That's different. Kobe Smulders. Fuck me. There we go.
Where's my Lindsay?
Right here. Hi, Mimi.
Why is
And it's
like?
really just
Why are
like
these
14.
flashbacks so dramatic?
Michael is too, but you never let me wear the sash when I was little.
No, please, you were never little.
Ooh. Oh, this is playing on like what they were saying last episode with how you're raised determines how you are. Like when they were talking about Buster, you can see that this is kind of how Lucille was shaped.
You know, I've been in the house 5 minutes. You haven't even offered me so much as a picture of martinis.
What are you gonna do with a picture of martinis? Are these like flashbacks going to play into who the murderer is? Like the guilty guys are gonna like, imagine if Grandma Bluth ends up being alive. I remember she died a while back. God, why is it so spooky?
Of Bluth family get-together.
There he is. All right. He's still sticking around. Nice.
This is the guy who used to bring me out during my trials. Oh, it's great to see you,
I
Chuck.
remember Chuck. You used to catch him when he'd run.
Actually, I'm Chuck's son.
No, you're little CJ?
Your parents must be so
What the fuck?
proud.
Is there anybody else you'd like to say hello to, Mother?
At least I came to your trial. For mine, you were too busy juicing it up with that woman you probably pushed down.
Careful.
You look
Ooh.
different.
I'm growing dreads, Mother. Dreads right out of my head.
Just because you have
Nice.
African American.
I'm gonna go in the hall and see if they're here yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and get a selfie with the G-Man.
Shouldn't you be
The
working on
G-Man.
Oh God, did he take another swing at you?
No, that's not what he did.
George Michael.
He took an emotional swing.
We're in cahoots with Chinese investors to build a border wall. Secretly spent the investors' money to...
The Chinese sent my dad a severed human foot.
Yeah, although they call it a mum. Mum's the word for severed human foot in Chinese. I
No.
don't even know how I know that. But it's to ensure
You
that
dumbass.
If you go to gay conversion therapy and it works. I mean, seriously, call me after that because I'd be curious to see how you'd handle it.
Job has been very boring this season outside of the Tony Wonder stuff and like the Argyle meeting. Other than that, he's been quite boring overall.
Someone care to explain to me why there's no one to
Has this guy played a judge before?
All rise for the guilty guys.
CJ, you don't
What? All rise?
Now I can.
Fruits of their very expensive preparation on full display. It was hard for anyone not to get caught up in the pageantry.
Barry.
On the count of murder in the first degree, how does the defendant plead?
Guilty.
Your Honor, in the case of the state of California versus Buster Bluth, we'd like to enter a plea of guilty.
Wow.
Okay.
Did they say guilty?
Yeah, they brought all of that shit out just to.
There's always a guy who wants to know what's going on. It's why I could never go to the movies with my father.
Look, not.
You hired us to plead not guilty.
Well, that's a first.
Barry, hey,
They're not. No, they hired the guilty.
what's happening?
Wait, that's literally their use?
You're saying these guys cannot represent us in a not guilty plea?
Why would you want to pay
Who-
them for 2
who-
months? I don't think they've ever been on a
What was
case.
all the preparation
This was the
for
same
if they're
problem
literally
the
hired
producers
just
of
to
the
plead
Netflix
guilty?
series.
We gotta get the fucking not guilty guys.
Let me take you. Sidebar, please.
And
Sidebar.
true to the...
We just can't. We can't defend their son. Bye.
Sidebar, literally. Jesus Christ. I imagine that's gotta be a real fucking bar.
Lottie Rattler? Yeah. What's her ex-husband's name? Dustin.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Her son off, and in 3 weeks, a mistrial is the only thing in our favor.
So if that's my choice between my wife and my son?
Isn't that the worst? Especially when you're checking into a hotel. Here's my advice. Always say that he's your wife, because they never have the balls to check.
I
Not
guess.
context,
Sure. Alright. So Dustin's becoming more important to the story, unfortunately.
Michael was visited by Maybe, who had father problems of her own.
Oh yeah, maybe still exists.
George Michael, you can't do that. Building that wall is going to affect real people.
Maybe I don't have the luxury of worrying about that.
My god, I don't care about this storyline in any fucking capacity. I just don't. Why is this a 2-season arc? Why?
She's not even interested in children. Well,
Maybe like babies, but even that's weird because who likes babies?
Especially in the early years, I know. Well, this is me.
Aw.
I wouldn't change a thing, and of course you'll need to cut your hair.
Oh, that'll make her totally crazy. Yeah, she could never get me to do that.
Before
Okay.
Michael had
I'm gonna act like I'm not completely bored with that fucking character already.
Not if he's unprepared. You need someone who's got a background.
Why? I have noticed a lot this season. The editing has been super fucking lazy, and I don't understand why they keep using shots where you can't even see them talk. They have been like... And the sound has been really bad so far this season too. Like the dialogue.
No, not at all.
It'll be completely different volumes and completely different moments. It'll... Like they use different cuts of the same dialogue and they switch it mid-sentence and it always sounds really awkward. And they keep using shots where you can't even see them fucking talking. Or it's sometimes when you can barely see them talking, but they're saying the completely wrong words. They've done that like all 5 seasons, but like I feel like it's just been really fucking lazy this season.
No, I have proof. She left voicemail.
Like, what is the point of this? Why? You have like that. I believe he's there for that shot. Why wouldn't you? Why do you have to put a glare on the screen to block him completely? I don't understand that. That really seems fucking pointless. It actually kind of irritates me.
George Michael realized he needed to create a distraction. So he went to the most easily distracted person he knew.
What in the hell was that fucking picture? Was that the same drawing from the magic box last episode? Except it's got the Queen of Diamond things, like from the face, the paint from a couple seasons back. I'm talking to my ass now.
Lure Tony Wonder out of hiding while simultaneously allowing Job to go back to his straight life without...
Is it a known thing that he's in hiding? Did I miss that? Is he not dead as fuck?
I thought you wanted me to pre-tie his tie.
Wait, a lawyer can't tie his own tie?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to tell the joke first. God, you never listen to me.
What are you doing? Nobody's even...
I'm so bored. What is this guy?
You're always talking about Buster. Buster this, Buster that. How are you going to represent Buster? Have you talked to Buster today? Well, you know what? No.
No.
Yeah, season 4 and season 5, they've got some flaws, and one of them is the new characters they try to introduce. They have not done it for me. I don't think any of them have.
Now, you know how I felt all those years, George?
But even though Lucille felt good about making George feel bad, she knew that he was right.
All these years, she still can't
so
wink.
That although it was considerably less modest than she had imagined.
May I help you?
I'm sorry. I thought
Why the fuck would he want to move in with her?
Mr. Radler's
Not her moving with him. Jesus Christ, this place.
And now Mrs. Bluth is here for a CDB, and Carla didn't know about it. Most likely because it wasn't made into a vine.
That's fine. I'm sure it was booked through our second
Fine,
floor staff.
huh?
I'm told you. The first floor used to mean something in this house.
Gene, no. That pantry is completely unguarded.
God, what is going on?
But about the staff, she also said,
I'm going to him.
Oh,
Ooh.
apologies. I don't know why I thought she said something about the
Jesus.
staff.
My daughter, Annette.
Or I wouldn't have voted that way as well.
I voted myself out too, okay? Because I can't take it anymore. You've taken all the fun.
God
That's the
damn.
worst part of life.
Just fucking let
But
them
while
have the
cracking up,
place?
maybe
So if these people really disappeared, that means there's an ocean view available.
Gross. I'm having some pretty strong feelings against what's going on at the moment. I think ever since Buster got arrested, shit slowed down so fucking quickly. Came to a screeching halt, and I don't understand why. Maybe it was moving this slow to begin with, but I don't remember it going this slow. But I feel like this is just fucking dragging. And the shit that they're coming up with along the way is just as boring as everything else. I'm gonna have hope that they can turn it around for the last episode or two. But holy shit, has this taken a turn for the worse in the last episode or two. And I wouldn't even say it's just this couple episodes. I think, like I said earlier, something that's really stood out to me, especially in this episode and last episode, is just the editing overall has been really annoying. Camera work, sound, it has all bothered me. That is something that has bothered me through all 5 seasons, was some of the bad sound. Like, I know it's a nitpick on a single camera show, but like seeing the side of someone's face but playing a completely different dialogue to what they're actually saying just throws me out of it so hard. That's something that's happened through all 5 seasons. I remember thinking that back in season 1. So, you know, you can't tell me that this is a new thing, but it has definitely come out to play here in season 5, because for some reason they prefer to keep using shots where they're either showing the back of people's heads or they're showing the side of people's heads that are talking, or they'd rather show the fucking other person's face who's not talking, who's listening. I don't understand why they keep doing that, or they just straight up just like show no fucking face at all. I don't understand it. It bothers the hell out of me. Like that fucking whole scene with Michael on the phone talking to Buster. It's split into 2 halves, right? The first half is like just the subtitle for Buster, because apparently, you know, they didn't want to, for some reason, get footage of Buster in jail on the phone like they have for every other phone conversation in jail ever in this entire show. They just didn't feel like doing it there. And then on the bottom half, Michael, but you couldn't fucking see him because the camera was purposely placed so that the fucking sun's glare was blocking him completely. So you literally had nothing to look at, and I hate that. That it has to be on purpose. There's no way that that's not on purpose with the sun glare and the fucking blocking his head perfectly. But I cannot imagine a reasonable reason to do that, even for like a joke or something. Like, there's no reasonable reason to do that. Plus, like I said, the sound editing, like the mixing, has also been very wonky. The fact that they keep using, and again, this is also something that I've noticed through all 5 seasons, but again, really came out to shine in the past couple episodes, is while they're also using the shots from the side where the actor is completely saying something different than what the dialogue in the scene is saying, sometimes in the scene it will switch from one cut of a line to another completely randomly. Like, they'll have a very low quality version of a line, and then it'll cut like suddenly to a better quality, clearer, crisper version of the line. I don't know why they don't just use the clearer, crisper version from the jump. I don't know why that they have to mix it so haphazardly in the scene. It really throws me off, man. It really does. It did not happen enough to bother me in the first couple seasons, but for some reason it's all I could think about in the past couple episodes. It's just I hate seeing the back of an actor's head as they're trying to talk, and then the audio sounds like shit. To put the rant aside, I'm struggling. The flaws are really showing their ugly faces here recently. But like I said, hopefully there is some time to recover. Hopefully they can figure out this Lucille 2 shit. It looks like maybe Stan Sitwell did something. He's got something to do with it. His hand was in it somehow. So we'll see some of that, hopefully. I mean, obviously we'll have to see more Dustin, but he's been a very boring character. He's not that he's been a bad... Well, I mean, I guess that is the same thing. He's just been very boring. So, but it sounds like Tony Wonder is out there in hiding or something. Job has a suspicion that he's in hiding from the gay mafia. I don't know where that came up. I don't remember that ever coming up, that Tony Wonder was alive, but I'll take it. It gives me something to look forward to, because at the moment, that is it. That is literally it, because it looks like the stuff with Tobias and his family, that completely disappeared. Like, it had that little like drawing scene at the very end and the after credit thing, like the end tag, but it has not been touched on whatsoever in the main episodes. So I don't care about the wall. I don't care about the wall. The stuff with Buster and his trial has dragged on to the point where I'm beginning to not care, and that has been the focus, which makes sense, I guess. I mean, it's the main story. It makes sense that it's been focused on. I don't know why they chose to bring the wall storyline into season 5, but again, I think that's a different conversation completely. So yeah, hoping for a turnaround of some sorts. I did not expect to go that deeply into all of that. That's a rant that I did not intend anyway. I think it's best we just move on, man. Holy hell.